Jack heard gunshots. 2 little Apache girls were running for their lives. 5 armed men were chasing them on horses. The children had nowhere to hide. Jack had to choose, stay safe or risk everything to save them. What happened next would change his life forever in ways he never imagined. Before watching full story, comment below from where you watching. Also like and subscribe for more stories. The sun was just rising over the dusty hills of Arizona Territory. Jack Morrison wiped the sweat from his face and looked at his small ranch. The wooden fence needed fixing and his horse needed water. Life was hard here in 1873, but Jack loved this wild land. Jack was not like other cowboys. He was kind to everyone, white folks, Mexican people, and even the Apache tribes that lived in these mountains. Most people in the town called him crazy for this. They said, "Jack, those Apache will kill you one day." But Jack never listened. He believed all people were good inside. This morning felt different. The air was too quiet. Even the birds were not singing. Jack's horse, Thunder, was acting strange. The big brown horse kept looking toward the hills and making nervous sounds. "What's wrong, boy?" Jack asked, patting Thunder's neck. Then he heard it. A sound that made his blood turn cold. Gunshots. Lots of them. Coming from the direction of Willow Creek about 2 miles away. Jack grabbed his rifle and jumped on Thunder. As they rode fast toward the shooting, Jack's heart was beating hard. Willow Creek was where the Apache children often played and where the women gathered water. If there was trouble there, it meant innocent people were in danger. The shooting got louder as they got closer. Jack could hear men yelling and horses running. When he reached the top of a small hill, he saw something that made him very angry. 5 white men with guns were chasing 2 small Apache girls. The girls looked about 8 and 10 years old. They were running as fast as they could, but the men on horses were getting closer. "Stop right there," one of the men yelled. "We got orders to bring back any Apache we find." The little girls were crying and scared. They ran behind some rocks, but Jack could see they had nowhere else to go. Jack knew these men. They worked for Colonel Bradley, the army officer who hated all Apache people. Bradley wanted to force all Apache to leave their home and go to reservations far away. He paid men like these to catch any Apache they could find. Jack's hands were shaking, but not from fear. He was angry. These were just children. They had done nothing wrong. Jack rode Thunder down the hill fast. The men did not see him coming because they were too busy trying to catch the girls. "Let them go!" Jack shouted as loud as he could. The 5 men turned around, surprised. Their leader, a ugly man named Snake Wilson, laughed. Well, if it isn't Jack Morrison, the Apache lover," Snake said. "You better ride away, Jack. This is not your business." "When you hurt children, it becomes my business," Jack said. He pointed his rifle at Snake. The other 4 men also pointed their guns at Jack. Now it was 5 against 1. Jack knew he was in big trouble, but he could not let these men hurt the little girls. "You are making a big mistake, Morrison," Snake said. "Colonel Bradley wants all Apache caught. These 2 will bring us good money." "Over my dead body," Jack said. "That can be arranged." Snake smiled and started to pull his gun. But Jack was faster. He had been practicing shooting since he was a boy. His bullet hit Snake's gun and knocked it out of his hand. "Aw!" Snake screamed, holding his hurt hand. The other men were shocked. In that moment, Jack yelled to the girls, "Run to me! Now!" The 2 Apache girls understood. They ran from behind the rock straight to Jack's horse. Jack helped them climb up on Thunder behind him. "Get them!" Snake yelled to his men. But Jack was already riding away as fast as Thunder could run. The little girls held on tight to Jack's shirt. He could feel them shaking with fear. The 5 men followed them, shooting their guns. Bullets flew all around, but Jack kept riding. He knew these hills better than anyone. There was a place he could hide, an old cave near Eagle Rock. Thunder was breathing hard as they reached the cave. Jack helped the girls down and led Thunder inside. The cave was big enough for all of them, and it was hidden behind thick bushes. Jack looked at the 2 girls. They were very scared but not hurt. The older girl had long black hair and big brown eyes. The younger one looked just like her, probably her sister. "Do you speak English?" Jack asked softly. The older girl nodded. "A little," she said quietly. "What are your names?" "I am Little Fox," the older girl said. "This is my sister, Morning Star." "I am Jack. You are safe now. Those bad men cannot find us here." Little Fox looked at Jack with surprise. "Why did you help us? You are a white man." Jack smiled. "Because you needed help. It does not matter what color our skin is. Right is right and wrong is wrong." Outside they could hear Snake and his men looking for them. "Where did they go?" one man yelled. They came this way, another said. Keep looking. Colonel Bradley will be very angry if we come back without them. Jack put his finger to his lips to tell the girls to be quiet. They all waited in the dark cave for what felt like hours. Finally the voices went away. Jack carefully looked outside. The men were gone. They will come back, Little Fox said. They always come back. Not if I can help it, Jack said. Where is your family? Your mother and father? Little Fox's eyes filled with tears. Father was killed by soldiers last winter. Mother is in the mountains with our people. She thinks we are dead. We were picking berries when the bad men found us, Morning Star said in a small voice. Jack's heart felt heavy. These little girls had already lost their father. They must be so scared. I will take you home to your mother, Jack promised. But first we need to wait until it gets dark. It will be safer to travel at night. When the sun went down, Jack and the two girls left the cave. Jack knew the Apache people lived in the high mountains, but he was not sure exactly where. He would have to trust Little Fox to guide them. They rode slowly and quietly through the night. Thunder was tired, but he was a strong horse and kept going. That way, Little Fox pointed to a tall mountain. Our people are there. They traveled for hours. Jack was very tired and he knew the girls were too. But they could not stop. If Snake and his men found them, there would be big trouble. When the sun started to rise, they reached the bottom of the mountain. Jack could see smoke from cooking fires high up in the rocks. We must walk now, Little Fox said. Horses cannot go up there. Jack looked at the steep path. It would be hard to climb, but they had no choice. They left Thunder by a stream where he could drink water and eat grass. Jack took his rifle and some food from his saddlebags. The climb was very hard. The rocks were loose and the path was narrow. Several times, Jack had to help Morning Star when she got scared. But Little Fox was like a mountain goat, she climbed easily. Halfway up, they heard a sound that made them all freeze. Halt! Who goes there? An Apache warrior stepped out from behind a rock. He had paint on his face and a bow with an arrow ready to shoot. He looked at Jack with angry eyes. Little Fox. Morning Star, the warrior said, surprised. Then he looked at Jack again and raised his bow. No, Standing Bear. Little Fox said quickly. This white man saved us. He is good. The warrior looked confused. Jack slowly put down his rifle to show he was not dangerous. Please, Jack said. I just want to bring the girls home to their mother. Standing Bear looked at the girls, then at Jack. After a long moment, he lowered his bow. Follow me, he said. The Apache camp was hidden high in the rocks where no one could see it from below. There were about 30 people living there, men, women, children, and old people. They all stared at Jack as he walked through the camp. Some of the warriors looked angry to see a white man. Jack felt scared, but he tried not to show it. Mother, mother? Little Fox called out. A woman came running from one of the small houses made of branches and animal skins. When she saw her daughters, she cried with happiness and hugged them tight. My babies. I thought you were dead, she said in Apache language, then in English. Where have you been? The bad white men tried to catch us, Little Fox said. But this good white man saved us. His name is Jack. The woman looked at Jack. She was beautiful, with long black hair and kind eyes, but Jack could see she was also very sad. She had lost her husband and almost lost her children too. I am White Dove, she said to Jack. These are my daughters. You saved them? Yes, ma'am, Jack said, taking off his hat politely. 5 men were chasing them. I could not let them get hurt. White Dove stared at Jack for a long time. The whole camp was quiet, waiting to see what would happen. Finally, White Dove spoke to the other Apache people in their language. Jack could not understand the words, but he could tell there was a big discussion happening. An old man with gray hair and many wrinkles came forward. He must be the chief, Jack thought. I am Chief Running Wolf, the old man said in good English. My daughter White Dove tells me you risked your life to save her children. Any decent person would have done the same, Jack said. No, Chief Running Wolf shook his head. Most white men would have helped the soldiers catch my people. You are different. Why? Jack thought about how to answer. Because children are children. It does not matter if they are white, Apache, Mexican, or anything else. They should be safe and happy. The chief nodded slowly. You have a good heart, Jack Morrison. Jack was surprised. You know my name? We know all about you. The Apache who trade in town tell us about the white cowboy who treats all people with respect. Some of our young men wanted to steal your cattle, but I told them no. I said, that man is different. He is our friend. Jack felt relief. He had not known that the Apache people had been watching him and protecting his ranch. "You may stay tonight," the chief said. "Rest. Tomorrow we will talk more." That night, Jack sat by the fire with the Apache people. They shared their food with him, rabbit meat, corn, and berries. It tasted better than anything he had eaten in a long time. Little Fox and Morning Star stayed close to him. They told everyone how brave he had been when he faced the 5 bad men. He was not scared at all. Little Fox said. He shot Snake Wilson's gun right out of his hand. The Apache men looked impressed. Snake Wilson was known for being a very fast gunfighter. White Dove sat across the fire from Jack. She kept looking at him, but she did not talk much. Jack could tell she was thinking about something important. As the night went on, people started going to bed. Finally, it was just Jack, White Dove, and Chief Running Wolf by the fire. "Jack Morrison," the chief said, "tomorrow you will go back to your ranch. But things will be different now." "How do you mean?" Jack asked. "Colonel Bradley will be very angry when he finds out you helped my granddaughters escape. He will cause trouble for you." Jack nodded. He had been thinking about this too. Colonel Bradley was a powerful man. He could make life very hard for Jack. "I am not worried about Bradley," Jack said, but he was lying. He was worried. White Dove finally spoke. "You should be worried. Bradley has many soldiers. He has many friends. You are just one man." "Then what do you think I should do?" Jack asked. White Dove and the chief looked at each other. Something passed between them, like they had already talked about this. "Sleep now," the chief said. "Tomorrow we will give you our answer." Jack slept on a blanket under the stars. It was the best sleep he had gotten in months, even though he was sleeping on hard ground. He felt safe here with these people who had been called his enemies. When Jack woke up, the sun was already high in the sky. He had slept longer than he planned. The camp was busy with people cooking, children playing, and men getting ready to hunt. Little Fox brought him some food, corn cakes and honey. "Mother wants to talk to you," she said. Jack found White Dove sitting alone on a rock overlooking the valley below. She looked beautiful in the morning light. "Jack," she said when he sat down beside her, "I have been thinking all night about what you did for my daughters. I told you, any good person would have done the same. No, that is not true, and you know it. You risked your life. You made enemies of dangerous men. You did this for children you did not even know." Jack did not know what to say to that. White Dove continued, "In Apache culture, when someone saves your children's lives, you owe them a debt that can never be repaid. But you must try." "You do not owe me anything," Jack said. "Yes, I do. And I know how to repay you." She turned to look at him with those beautiful, kind eyes. "Marry me, Jack Morrison." Jack's mouth fell open. He could not believe what he had heard. "What?" he said. "I said marry me. Become my husband. Become a father to Little Fox and Morning Star." Jack stared at her. "White Dove, I do not understand. You barely know me. I know enough. I know you are brave. I know you are kind. I know you risk your life for what is right. My daughters already love you, I can see it. And," she looked down, "and I think I could love you too given time." Jack's head was spinning. This was the last thing he had expected. "But I am white and you are Apache. Your people would never accept it. My father has already given his blessing. He says you have proven yourself to be a friend of our people. As for the others," she smiled. "Apache women choose their own husbands. If I choose you, that is enough." Jack looked out over the valley trying to think. This beautiful woman wanted to marry him. Her daughters, who had already stolen his heart, would become his children. But there were so many problems. What about my ranch? What about the white people in town? They will never accept an Apache family. "That is why this marriage will save you," White Dove said. "When you marry me, you become part of our tribe. Chief Running Wolf will adopt you as his son. You will have the protection of all Apache people." Jack was starting to understand. "So when Colonel Bradley comes after me, he will find that you are no longer just one man. You will be family to 300 Apache warriors. Even Bradley will not want that fight." It was clever, Jack had to admit. But there was something else bothering him. "White Dove, I do not want you to marry me just to pay a debt. Marriage should be about love." White Dove smiled, the first real smile he had seen from her. "Jack Morrison, do you think I would offer to spend my life with a man I could not love? Yes, I am grateful to you. But I am also interested in you. You are different from any man I have known. I want to know you better. I want to see if we can build something good together." Jack looked at this amazing woman. She was offering him everything, a family, protection, and maybe even love. What about Little Fox and Morning Star? How do they feel about this? Why do you not ask them yourself? White Dove called to her daughters. They came running over. Jack, Little Fox said, Mother told us she wants to marry you. We think this is a good idea. You do? Jack asked. Yes. Morning Star said, clapping her hands. Then you would be our father. We always wanted a father who would love us and protect us. Jack felt his heart melting. These two little girls had been through so much pain. They deserved to have a father who would love them. And White Dove? There was something special about her. She was strong and smart and beautiful. Maybe they could learn to love each other. All right, Jack said finally. Yes. I will marry you, White Dove. Little Fox and Morning Star cheered and hugged him. White Dove smiled and took his hand. Good, she said. We will have the ceremony tonight. That evening, the entire Apache camp gathered for the wedding ceremony. Jack had never seen anything like it. Chief Running Wolf spoke in Apache, then in English for Jack's benefit. Today we welcome a new son into our family. Jack Morrison has proven himself to be a man of honor. He will protect our daughter White Dove and our granddaughters Little Fox and Morning Star. The ceremony was simple but beautiful. Jack and White Dove stood together in the center of a circle made by all the Apache people. They held hands while the chief spoke words of blessing over them. White Dove had put on her most beautiful dress, white deerskin decorated with colorful beads. She looked like a princess. Jack felt nervous but happy. This was the right thing to do. He could feel it in his heart. When the ceremony was over, everyone celebrated with food, music, and dancing. Jack tried to learn some of the Apache dances which made everyone laugh. But it was good laughter. They were welcoming him into their family. Later that night, when the celebration was over, Jack sat with his new wife and daughters by their fire. What happens now? Jack asked. Now we go to your ranch, White Dove said. We will live there together. The girls and I will help you fix it up and make it a real home. And if Colonel Bradley comes? Then he will find that you are no longer alone, White Dove said firmly. You have a family now. You have a tribe. Little Fox curled up next to Jack. Will you teach me to ride your horse Thunder? Of course, Jack said, stroking her hair. I will teach you everything I know. Morning Star was already asleep in White Dove's arms. She looked so peaceful and safe. Jack, White Dove said quietly, I know this is all very fast. We will take time to get to know each other properly. There is no rush for everything that comes with marriage. We will let our feelings grow naturally. Jack squeezed her hand. Thank you for understanding. I want this to work, White Dove. I want us to be happy. We will be, she said confidently. I can feel it. The next morning they prepared to leave for Jack's ranch. Chief Running Wolf gave them supplies and blessed their journey. Remember, my son, he said to Jack, you are always welcome here. This is your home too now. And remember, he said to White Dove, if this white man does not treat you well, your brothers will come for him. He was joking, but Jack could tell there was some truth in it too. The Apache men would protect their sister. The journey down the mountain was easier than the climb up had been. Thunder was happy to see Jack and not afraid of White Dove or the girls at all. It was like the horse knew they were family now. When they reached Jack's ranch, White Dove looked around at everything, the small wooden house, the barn, the broken fence, the vegetable garden that needed work. It is perfect, she said. It will be a good home for us. Little Fox and Morning Star ran around exploring everything. They had never lived in a house with wooden walls and a real floor. Can we really live here? Morning Star asked. Yes, little one, Jack said. This is your home now. Over the next few days they worked together to fix up the ranch. White Dove was amazingly good at everything: cooking, sewing, gardening, even helping to mend the fence. The girls helped too, and their laughter filled the house with joy. Jack had never been so happy. Having a family changed everything. The house felt warm and alive instead of empty and lonely. 1 week after they arrived at the ranch, Jack's fears came true. Colonel Bradley rode up to the house with 10 soldiers. Jack stepped outside to meet them. White Dove and the girls stayed in the house, but Jack knew they were watching from the window. Morrison, Colonel Bradley said coldly. I hear you have been harboring Apache fugitives. I do not know what you mean, Jack said calmly. Don't play stupid with me. My men saw you help 2 Apache girls escape. That is aiding the enemy. Those were children, not enemies. Colonel Bradley laughed nastily. Apache are Apache. Age does not matter. Now where are they? Even if I knew, I would not tell you. Bradley's face turned red with anger. You are under arrest, Morrison. Men searched the house. The soldiers started toward the house, but Jack stepped in their way. You have no right to search my home. I have every right. This is a matter of military security. Just then, White Dove came out of the house. She was wearing her white deerskin dress and looked very dignified. "Good morning, Colonel," she said politely. Bradley's eyes went wide when he saw her. Who are you?" "I am Mrs. Morrison, Jack's wife." The soldiers all started talking at once. Bradley held up his hand for silence. "That is impossible. Morrison is white." "Yes, he is. And I am Apache. We were married 5 days ago by my father, Chief Running Wolf." Bradley looked like he was going to explode. This is legal," White Dove said calmly. "We have many witnesses. Jack is now a member of the Apache tribe. He is under the protection of our people." Just then they heard horses coming. Jack looked and saw 20 Apache warriors riding toward the ranch. Standing Bear was leading them. "Ah," White Dove said, "my brothers have come to visit." The Apache warriors surrounded Bradley and his soldiers. They did not point weapons, but their message was clear. Standing Bear rode up to Colonel Bradley. "Colonel, you are on Apache land now. This man is our brother. These children are our children. You will leave them alone." Bradley looked around at all the Apache warriors. He was outnumbered 2-1 and he was far from his fort. "This is not over, Morrison," he said through gritted teeth. "Yes, it is," Standing Bear said firmly. "This man is Apache now. If you hurt him, you hurt all of us. Do you want to start a war, Colonel?" Bradley stared at Standing Bear for a long moment. Finally, he turned his horse around. "Move out," he ordered his soldiers. As they rode away, Jack let out a long breath. His plan had worked. White Dove's plan had worked. "Thank you," he said to Standing Bear. "You are family now," Standing Bear replied. "Family protects family." A year had passed since that day. Jack and White Dove's marriage had grown into real love. They understood each other and worked together perfectly. Little Fox had become an excellent horse rider and was learning to read and write English. Morning Star had grown taller and stronger, and she loved helping in the vegetable garden. The ranch was doing better than ever. Other Apache people sometimes came to trade, bringing Jack customers from far away. The white people in town had slowly accepted his Apache family, especially after they saw how hard-working and kind White Dove and the girls were. Colonel Bradley had been transferred to another fort after his commanding officer decided he was causing too much trouble. One evening, Jack sat on his porch watching the sunset with his family. White Dove was sewing while the girls played with a kitten they had found. "Jack," White Dove said, "do you ever regret what happened that day? When you decided to save my daughters?" Jack looked at his wife and daughters, his family. They had brought so much joy and love into his life. "Never," he said. "Saving Little Fox and Morning Star led me to you. It led me to this life. It was the best thing I ever did." White Dove smiled and took his hand. The Apache have a saying, "Sometimes the greatest rewards come from doing what is right, not what is easy." Jack squeezed her hand. "That is very wise. My people are very wise," she said. "That is why they chose you to be part of our family." As the sun set behind the mountains, Jack Morrison looked at his life and felt complete. He had started as a lonely cowboy, but now he was a husband, a father, and a member of the Apache tribe. Sometimes the most shocking rewards are the ones that change your whole life for the better. And sometimes saving 2 little girls leads you to find everything you never knew you were looking for.